So, Kathleen, thank you for coming on the show today. I understand you came to Kelowna about 20 years ago. So tell us the story. How did you get here?
So, Kelowna, I was actually down in Vancouver. I had just finished up my education. I was a radiation therapist. I had just finished training. And we got to choose where we wanted to live in the province. And originally we were thinking, oh yeah, let's stay in the Lower Mainland. Mm-hmm. But then I thought, no, I grew up in Kamloops. Parents are there.
Right.
Husband's parents were Revelstoke and Kamloops, and it would just be halfway between my brothers. So I reached out and got a second interview for a job position because I had already been accepted in Surrey.
Yeah.
And got a second interview and got accepted. And so we packed up the house, got my results in the mail, called them. They said, can you start tomorrow? And we drove.
Wow.
And so I started casual at the cancer clinic back in 1998. Yeah. And then I went into part-time and full-time. And along that journey got me to where I am today.
Yeah, wow. So you've seen Kelowna change tremendously. I visited here for the first time in 2004, and they were building the new bridge, and it was still a drawbridge. Yeah. So you've seen all that. Tell us about some of the other changes you've seen in the city.
One of the major changes, which I'm surprised they still haven't done more, is turn signals. Right. There were no turn signals at all when we first moved here, and it was crazy. Another thing was we would go out for dinner. We'd try to go out for dinner, and there was nothing open after 7 o'clock at night.
Wow.
You'd end up at, like, the pantry. There was nowhere to eat because it was sort of that senior sort of living.
Right.
And it was like, wow, what did we do moving here? Because it was, 20 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Huge changes to everything. Obviously our hospital's expanded now, and the bridge, as you mentioned. Gosh, what else is new? So much. It's expanded. It's blown up. West Kelowna is like huge too now, right? Uh-huh. But Kelowna is just, it's crazy. They need to catch up with the infrastructure though, right?
For sure.
Because some of the roadways are just not big enough.
Yeah,
and,
so true.
Yeah, and the housing up like the ponds and Kettle Valley, that traffic coming down, it's crazy. Yeah. So good changes have been made, and I know more are coming though.
Yeah,
definitely.
So you're the founder of Zoe Life Healing. Tell us what is that?
Zoe Life Healing is I'm a stress reduction expert. The name itself came about because I didn't think Kathleen's Healing Oasis sounded that cool. Right. And I have this beautiful Maremma dog named Zoe. And I was like, you know what? She is part of my passion and my why. And so Zoe Life Healing came about. Mm-hmm. And a couple years later, I actually discovered Zoe meant life energy. Wow. So my name's kind of double. This is life energy, life healing, right? Which is actually really kind of cool.
So when was that, when you started it?
I opened it officially in 2004 with Reiki, Therapeutic Touch, and Hot Stone Massage, offering just people services. And it's since then evolved. I've been doing the energy healing actually since, I don't know, like years before that. I don't even know how I got into energy healing, but along my journey, I've gotten there, and it's evolved me as a person, taking me from the standard medical system into more of an energy healing, and just it resonates with me. I'm more of an energy person and being. And I love being able to help people because we are energy, and we're filled with it, our chi, if you've ever heard of.
Yeah.
And it can get stagnant, and it can get blocked, and that's part of where our diseases can come from. It's from our energy, because we have this body that we live in, but we also have energies around us.
Right.
And so other bodies and auras, and it all affects how our body functions and works, and
Interesting. So Reiki, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's a type of massage or body work, and it has to do with energy. Tell us a little bit more about Reiki. How do you spell it, first of all?
So thank you for asking. Reiki is spelled Reiki, and it is an energy healing. So it works on your energy fields.
Right.
We actually have 8 different chakras down the center of our body. We also have chakras in our feet, and they're basically like a little spiral of energy. Mm-hmm. And if those aren't spiraling proper, they're out of whack.
Right.
So Reiki allows you to provide universal energy to allow that person's body to reset and heal itself and just get that energy flowing properly. Mm-hmm. And the body just knows how to heal itself.
Right.
And actually, I started adding into dog treatments because my own dog, I started doing treatments, and we did some training together, her and I realized they're actually more receptive than we are because they don't have that judgment.
Right.
They're just like receive and accept, and they reset so quick, and it's just amazing to watch them like shift and change and lick, and it's so cute.
Very cool. So we've got 8 chakras, and I guess a Reiki practitioner can observe where there are blockages or things out of sync, and then you try to put things back into harmony. Is that right?
Yeah, so we do like a scan. It can be by touching the person. It can be by just being slightly over top of them. It just depends on the comfort level of the person, as well as what sort of happens in every session. Every session's a little different because we're all different and all our needs are different.
Right.
So yeah, you do a scan, you see what's going. You can actually use a pendulum and check the chakras as well, just depending what you prefer. And then you start working on all the different chakras, and you make your way down the body. Mm-hmm. And I started introducing the feet a few years ago. I never focused on it so much, but I find the feet actually talk more. And some people just need more treatment on their feet. And I don't know if it connects in with reflexology or what it is, but I mean, I had one gal, I did her Reiki, I get down to her feet, and I was there for most of her treatment.
Right.
She came the next time, and she actually said she always has cold feet, but she didn't in between times. So, I think over time, that might be something that her benefits might be. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Everybody needs something different. And I sometimes see things, and I ask questions, and, people participate. And, yeah.
So is it really touch-based, or what else is there to it? I mean, I understand you're asking a lot of questions. You're kind of scanning the person using different methods. Once you figure out where the blockage is or where the problem is, besides touch, is there anything else that you're doing?
So it's tapping into the universal energy.
Okay.
So I just tap into that, and I channel it into the person, and the body actually heals itself and resets. But I don't leave that person until they are done that session and everything is realigned. Whether it stays realigned for very long, that depends on our lifestyles, right? So, and our judgments and our beliefs in it too, right? Because it does come down to a lot of that. Like, are you allowing? Are people thinking it's a placebo, or does it actually work? Like medications. Sometimes people think, well, this isn't going to work, so it won't, even though it should. So, it's just, everybody's so different. But I've seen so many wonderful, wonderful changes in people, so many just emotional changes, and it's just beautiful to watch people evolve through that. I've even had Reiki practitioners come in and trust me with their space, and just seen unbelievable things come out of their treatments. It's just beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
So, Kathleen, you say there's 8 different types of stress, and only one of those is good for us. So tell us about the 8 types of stress.
Yeah, so your body reacts to stress identical. You go into stress response. You get your cortisol levels elevated. Doesn't matter where the stress comes from. It can be a physical stress, whether you're exercising, because we can actually over-exercise even though we think it's good. It can be a mental stress, our financial stress, psychosocial, so our relationships with people, either in our actual relationships with our kids, our spouse, our boyfriend, or our people we work with every day. And that's a majority of our life, right? So those things can put stress on you. We also have nutritional stress. So what you're putting in your body actually affects you in the same way. As well, if you're not putting the right foods in, it can actually be causing other issues and causing its own toxins because of the way it's not being broken down, or causing IBS or whatever it might be doing, because we're all so different. Chemical stress. What's in your shampoo? What's in your face cream, your makeup? What's in this lovely air outside? Right. So, it's pollutions and toxins and pesticides in our fruits and vegetables, right? I think that's 7. So our good stress can be going to a wedding, getting a job promotion, graduating, seeing your kids move on to college. It's exciting, but it still releases that stress hormone. And stress is a beautiful thing. However, we're not running from tigers anymore.
Right.
We're trying to live, right?
Yeah.
So our body is so stressed and we don't even know it until it's too late. And I really just want to bring awareness to people that, the things that you're doing in your daily life, whether you think they're good for you or not, moderation is a good key, but it all piles up. So even preparing for that awesome vacation, and then you get sick once you're there, that's your stress.
Right.
Too much, right? I mean, that goodness pushed you over the edge, right? And so I just want to bring awareness to people to help them identify it, one, manage it, reduce it, or eliminate it. There are things we can eliminate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
You're also a networking leader and community ambassador. So tell us about your work as a networking person and a community ambassador here in Kelowna.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I've actually run a couple networking groups. I was the president of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and it's on an online platform, as well as there are some places across Canada and the United States that have meetings. And so I ran that for a while and made some really great connections in our holistic world. As holistic practitioners, we actually have different needs than other people out in business. I mean, yes, we are business owners, but we often have other sides of us that, maybe we're not the same at networking or the same at computer and social media. And so being able to network and learn where we want to sort of put our energy, as well as what we need to learn to better our business, and where we can just filter it out and say, hey, that guy over there could do my social media for me and support me better than my energy going into that.
Right.
But knowing where to go and who to connect with. And so I think, we don't do it anymore. Just nobody else wanted to step up as president, and it was my time to move on and focus more on my business and my growth. But I'm still here for people. Anybody that needs support in that way, I'm here.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of people in that field in Kelowna?
As holistic practitioners? Oh, there are so many holistic practitioners here. I don't even know the numbers, but there's a holistic market that happens once a month. And
where's that?
That's at the Laurel Packing House.
Right.
Yeah, and so there's that event. There's always different healing events in town. This is actually where people come to get more spiritual, is what I found. And I've been told by a few of my mentors that people stay in Kelowna on their spiritual journey, and when they find that spiritual peace that they've been looking for, they actually move on. So I guess I'm still looking.
Yeah, interesting.
Or I'm here to help facilitate.
I think so.
Yeah. So you asked about the community ambassador as well, and that actually comes from my volunteering. I am a facilitator for the Chronic Pain Workshop, which is through UVic, and they offer free 6-week programs for people in chronic pain or with diseases. And, it's just a group of people that come to get education over 6 weeks and to connect and know they're not alone. And just have other people out there and new ideas to hopefully facilitate them along their journey, because it's quite a journey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, since you're dealing with people that are suffering from chronic pain, and I guess in some cases these are terminal, is there a problem with opioids and prescription medications in our society? I watch a lot of American television programs. I know it's a huge issue down there, but it's not something we really talk about. Do you see a lot of problem with prescription meds?
That's an interesting question. I mean, a lot of times we talk about the education around how to take your medication and the different types, which includes opioids, but there's also those warnings, and it's more about education with the people and their practitioner. I don't think that it happens as much in Canada. That's sort of my feeling. For myself, I was on medication. I do have some chronic conditions, and that's how I got into that role as a volunteer to help me facilitate my life better. But I've learned through the coping and the tools to actually reduce and eliminate some of my medications. And so, which is great, because that's less toxins in my body, right? Is how I look at that. And if I can function, then why not? But people don't specifically share what they're on. I know there's a lot of people taking marijuana, CBD oils, and that does play a role in some pain management, because we actually have human cannabinoids in our body. And the theory is that people with chronic pain actually have lower levels. But until you can test what that level is, you don't know how much to give.
Yeah.
So people may be overdoing it or underdoing it and seeing no benefit or too much benefit, and then they sleep or whatever, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a location, and tell us some of the services that you offer besides what you already talked about at your location?
Yes, I do have a location. I'm located in the Lower Mission. I work out of my home. I have a dedicated spa area, and I'm at 4500 Gordon Drive. It's by appointment only, no drop-ins. As I mentioned, hot stone massage is actually my biggest seller. It's very relaxing. It's actually detoxing. I also do a combination of cold and hot if someone had injuries that were inflammation and needing that attention right then and there. Therapeutic touch is very similar to Reiki. It's another energy healing. I do chakra wand balancing, which again works on the chakras, but it's with healing wands. And I work with pets. I do Reiki and regular massage with them. I do have body talk access, and I will use it as needed with the animals. I also use my chakra wands on them. And I work with people just on wellness. It's almost like a wellness coaching, helping them to identify and reduce their stresses.
Right.
Starting with a stress assessment, which is completely free to anybody that reaches out, whether you want to do something with it or not.
Right.
But it's knowledge, right? And sometimes we don't know until we start checking boxes and going, oh.
Yeah.
And, it's
So
that
it could be
awareness.
something in the diet. It could be environmental, like you said, or they've got a problem with someone at work.
Exactly. It could be any of those.
Yeah.
Any of those. Well, like for the chemical, I started it because I was told I had occupational asthma. Well, now I'm told I have asthma. This air's not bugging me. But my thing with chemical reduction was my dog absorbs through her paws. She licks up whatever's on the floor.
Right.
I'm going to watch what I wash my floors with.
Yes.
Right? So, it's just, what's your story, and is it for you? Is it for your kids? Babies crawl on floors. They're absorbing faster than we are.
Yeah.
It's scary what people are absorbing.
Yeah.
Babies actually have chemicals in their system before they're even born.
Yeah.
Goes through the mom.
Crazy.
Like, it's getting that awareness out there and teaching people. What you do with that information, that's entirely your choice, but I'd like to think we can help you before you hit health rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. I had to climb my way out of it. And that's part of my journey and part of my story.
Yeah.
And that's how I became a stress reduction expert. So this actually takes us back into what I love about Kelowna, and just part of the tools that I've learned is relaxation and being mindful and taking in your surroundings. And the other day I met a friend downtown, and so we went for a short little walk, and I was like, oh, have you ever been to Kathleen Gardens? She's like, no.
That's downtown, right?
Yeah. She's like, what's that? I said, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite places. Let's go. So it's a tiny little Asian garden. It has koi fish and the lily pads and a waterfall and just a beautiful, the plants and the trees and it's just my favorite. It's a Zen garden for me. It's only open from, I think, April to October, but it's one of my places I love to go to relax, to just take it in. You can just breathe. And just that waterfall sound is just amazing. And I always take pictures there. So over the 20 years, that's a place I like to go every year. At different times, because I like to see the lilies and the blooming flowers. And yeah, I just love that. And then
It's beautiful.
It really is. It's hidden, though. Nobody seems to know it's right behind City Hall.
Yeah.
So it's behind a fence, and it's easy to find, and it's worth it. If you have a lunch break and you can go down there and eat, just go enjoy some peace.
So nice.
Yeah.
Megan Carr nominated you to come on the show. Who would you like to nominate?
I have a few people I've been telling about this, and so I'm going to send them the podcast just so they can take a listen. One I was thinking of is Yolanda Himmelstein of Health Flows. She also does health healing. I met her through the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and we connected. She's a beautiful soul, and she does Qigong art, or Qigong inspired art. Is how I first got introduced to what she actually does.
Yeah.
And so we went and did a little Qigong thing, and I did my first painting, and I just went with the flow. I saw colors and whatnot during the energy of the Qigong and put it on the canvas.
Beautiful.
And I've done that a couple times, and she actually came down and joined me at the Holistic Market a few times because we had a booth, and so I've received some of her Jinjin's Jitsu treatments, and now we're actually currently doing a trade. And yeah, she's just
Wonderful.
beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah. So Wendy Majewski is a coach, as well as she does some energy healing. I've done trades with her, and she's done the freedom technique? Emotional freedom technique, or emotional code. And she's just a beautiful, beautiful woman. And I met her years ago through a network marketing community. And we've just stayed in touch. She plays pickleball. She used to work for the city here and then in Vernon. And she always had this dream of becoming a coach. And she did it. She got to her dream.
Awesome.
And that's what we all want, right?
Yep.
We have dreams and wishes and whys, and hopefully we're still dreaming. And if you're not, she's a really good person to meet with.
Yeah.
But she also worked on some healing blocks and stuff for me along the journey. And she got to enjoy some hot stone massages. And
Beautiful.
yeah, it's nice to do trades. I used to not like doing trades. I don't know why. I didn't think there was value, or, money was more important. Mm-hmm. But you know what? When you're a small business and word of mouth is your key, trades are the way to go, because that person knows what you do.
Exactly.
And they can recommend you for why you do it and how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Because it's about what they made you feel.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Kathleen, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me here, Luke. This was wonderful, and thank you to Megan for nominating me, and hopefully this comes out soon and I can share it with everybody and get some more people inspired to come and visit Luke and have a moment of Kelowna love.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Luke Menkes is a realtor. He loves what he does. We asked Luke if he had any regrets about moving here in 2011, and he always says, yeah, one regret, and that is he didn't move here sooner. When Luke came here, he didn't know anyone. He didn't know the neighborhoods or anything or anyone besides his daughter, who was 6 years old at the time. So he knows what it's like. Now, he's an expert and has helped well over 100 single people, couples, families, and investors with their real estate needs in the Okanagan. If you're new to our beautiful city, Luke can help you get connected with great lawyers, dentists, carpenters, landscapers, swimming pool installers, you name it. And whether you're new to Kelowna or not, Luke knows real estate. He can help you find a great property, negotiate a good deal, and hold your hand all the way through the process until the day you get your shiny new set of keys. Luke is known as a no-pressure kind of guy. He's had clients where it took even a year or more to get them into a property. He just doesn't believe in rushing things. On the other hand, when you decide it's time to act, he's diligent and he'll work day and night until the job is done. Give Luke Menkes a call or a text message at any time. 778-215-4273. Again, that's 778-215-4273. 778-215-4273 to chat with Luke about real estate.